Dear colleagues and friends, we are celebrating today the launch of the third edition of the 2030 Guidebook. On behalf of the UIA, I would like to congratulate the UIA Sustainable Development Goals Commission of the term 2021-2023 and its co-directors for the very successful third edition. But I would also like to thank the Royal Danish Academy and the UIA 2023 Congress organizers for their collaboration in the realization of this impressive publication. Sustainability has been an important concern and activity area of the UIA for a long time. But it is only in 2017 that UIA Council decided to found a commission in order to formalize the efforts and actively promote the UN 17 SDG goals. It was the initiative of the Nordic section, represented at that time by Council member Nathalie Mossin from Denmark. She and Istiak Zahir Titas from Bangladesh were named as first co-directors of the new commission, followed in the next term by Iman Gwad and Sid Blanco. Thank you all for your precious work. In the frame of the revision and restructure of the UIA, we are undertaking during this term, 23-26, we decided to clarify the thematic structure of the UIA and defined 3 thematic areas to pursue, coordinated with all working bodies, differentiated according to the nature of their tasks in the permanent commissions, task force, and work programs. Thematic area 1 is education, thematic area 2, professional practice, thematic area 3, sustainability. The Sustainability Commission is a permanent commission. We have the UN 17 SDG goals task force, but we also want to include work programs that work in the domain of sustainability in this thematic area, like for instance, with focus on urbanization, public spaces, architecture, cities and territories, with focus on cultural aspects, heritage and cultural identity, indigenous people, with focus on social aspects, social habitat, informal settlements, community architecture, and social rights. In order for the UIA work to be more relevant and more effective, all working bodies are invited to collaborate with international organizations working in the same thematic area. Some have been doing it, like our Sustainability Commission, but others not yet. With its congresses and forums, the UIA treats important themes of global relevance. A major contribution in sustainability matters was achieved with the UIA 2023 Congress in Copenhagen, Sustainable Futures, Leave Nobody Behind. The 10 Copenhagen lessons have already evident follow-up and impact. In important conferences and events organized by international and partner organizations, the UIA participates and expresses the position of the profession. As you may know, the UN Environment Programme and the French government organized a global forum on buildings and climate global forum on buildings and climate on the 7th and 8th of March in Paris. I had the honor to read at the plenary session the Common Engagement Declaration of the International Union of Architects, the Architects' Council of Europe, and the National Council of the Order of Architects of France, CNOA. As a result of the conference, 70 countries signed the Declaration of Chaillot. You can find the text on the UIA website. On this occasion, I would like to share with you some further reflections. As architects, we are very much aware that building is a public act and that we are not the only actors in the built environment responsible for the environment and the future of humanity. We are aware that it is a matter of shared social, ethical, and political responsibility among governments, public and private sector, civil society, and professionals. Considering the global impact of our built environment, the solution can not only be green buildings, but must be also green practices, green policies, and green procurement. The discussion, though, should be about green built and living environment to also include people and culture. High-quality Baukultur, as defined by the Davos Declaration in 2018, propagates a holistic approach and puts culture on center stage in order to achieve sustainable and vibrant communities with a better quality of life and well-being for all. It is about quality as long-term value. Against the challenges of sustainability and climate change, it is our duty to advocate for the best solutions for the built environment while improving the quality of life of people. Our collective approach must be multidimensional, respecting culture, society, identity, nature, biodiversity, and humanity. Advocating for responsible land use and settlements, energy efficiency, and for the use of durable construction materials and methods during the whole life cycle in harmony with local culture. As architects, we are trained to coordinate the know-how of other disciplines and specialists, to use technology intelligently, and to find solutions within the given economic and legal framework. But as designers within the interdisciplinary team, we are the only specialists challenged to understand the needs of both users and investors and interpret them in spatial solutions in the interest of society. The stakeholders of the building sector must prioritize quality in policy and investment decisions and recognize that high-quality Baukultur supports sustainable economic growth while improving the resilience and livability of our natural and built environment. The strategy for resilience must be a multifaceted one, moving towards zero-emission buildings whilst understanding the need for different approaches in different climates, fostering collaboration to ensure that solutions are scalable and adaptable. Energy efficiency must become a top priority by employing passive design techniques and renewable energy, by valuing traditional know-how, by incorporating robust materials and technologies to endure environmental challenges. The word quality should not be confused with luxury and high cost. Quality should no longer be understood as the prerogative of a privileged few, but as a prerogative of all. Cooperation between stakeholders, such as engineers, architects, legislators, and community members, is vital. It is important to promote public awareness on the advantages of resilient construction and zero-emission buildings and broaden educational systems accordingly. It is also important to advocate for appropriate funding and use financial tools to encourage implementation of resilient building, which has evident competitive benefits like significant savings in operating expenses and greater property value. Near zero and resilient buildings provide businesses with both financial rewards and strategic advantages. In particular, building sustainably will provide social benefits. It will offer safer and more resilient living environments, increasing the health and productivity of inhabitants and advancing social inclusion. As a federation of national professional organizations working to influence public policies and advance architecture in service to the needs of society, the UIA will perform its role in this global endeavor and will continue engaging in climate diplomacy, lobbying for policy changes to support sustainable building practices and the retrofitting of existing structures for better energy efficiency, promoting capacity and information sharing, working on public engagement and awareness by supporting global campaigns about the importance of zero emissions and resilient buildings. But also, the UIA will develop guidelines for architects that integrate principles of zero emissions and resilience into the design and construction process in all stages. We will do our share in promoting sustainable architecture that is resilient, cost-effective, and beneficial for societies around the globe. But let us not forget that sustainability requires a holistic approach. We should not focus only on buildings, neglecting urban planning and land use, because that is where the problem starts. We are very happy today to have excellent examples to demonstrate how our profession is aware of the challenges of today in regard to environment and climate. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Regina, and thank you for all that are watching us now for the launch of the UIA Guidebook for the 2030 agenda. I would like to invite our Secretary General, Rui Leão, to say a few words. Please, Rui.
Thank you, Sid. Thank you, Iman. After President Regina's extensive expression of dedication to these issues, which I think is really a big thing that we want to carry through in this mandate, and which was at the basis of all the messages that the UIA delegation delivered at the Paris Climate Forum in the beginning of this month. I wanted to say a few words on why this guide, 2030 guide, is so important for the professions and for the UIA, why this commitment is such an important thing for the profession, for the architects worldwide. And this is because this shift that is happening and it's being operated by so many of us around the world, where we are, and all of you who are here and who have been are part of this guide, are important agents of change as architects and as people who operate in the construction industry and with the communities. And these actions are really important because I think that one of the big challenges is that the change that we are pursuing is not a very easily communicatable issue. So it is about social responsibility, about climate action, about understanding the fragilities and having a real understanding of the 17 SDGs in how they impact the communities and the cities through our work, through the Commission work. So I think that this raises the importance of climate action as a militancy for architects, and we have this important role as innovators in our construction industry, and this happens in a very slow process because climate action, I think, is not a science; it is a practice, and this is why the 2030 guidebooks are so essential, because they document the practice and the changing sensibilities that we managed to insert into the planning and the building of our cities and territories. So this is why our SDG 17 SDG Commission is really so important, and a real important player and leader in this action of our ability to change and react to the biggest challenges that we face nowadays. So I really wanted to thank all of you in the 17 SDG Commission, and especially here with Iman and Sid, and also congratulate all the selected projects and authors. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rui, for your kind words. And we have the pleasure today, and I think that they are really part responsible for the selection and the amazing projects. It's our editorial board. We have 2 representatives. They were the ones who went through all the subscriptions. They read all the texts, saw all the images, and I would like to thank not only Asen and Paola, but also the other judges who did this great work. And then I would like to ask them to talk about how was to be part of it, and especially because they were part of they were commission members during the process, and they were representing their own regions in the process of the editorial board. So please, Asen, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much, Sid, and thank you, Regina and Rui, for this wonderful introduction. It was really wonderful to be a part of this editorial selection team, because to see all of the projects around the world, that's really fantastic, and that's really a good kind of resource what is UIA is gathering together. That's because wonderful. I would like to thank, first of all, to the participants, because there were all around the world many participants. Some of them are selected, some of them are not, but it doesn't mean that every contribution had been a really enormous amount of impact within the regions that were implemented. So I would like to thank them. And also, I would like to, first of all, thank UIA for initiating this guidebook. That's because I think one of the leading documents in the architectural debate. I know that this is being looked over in offices, in architectural offices, universities. Students are kind of looking towards these projects, and also architects from the offices, because as Regina and Rui, very undoubtedly presented, that is a kind of a very unique approach to sustainable development goals. We know that architecture's contributions sometimes seems to be vague, and sometimes seems to be only limited with kind of technological or energy implemented solutions. So that's why this book is very important in that sense, highlighting the importance of surely what's going on, what's debating in the architecture profession, but moving forward to the social issues, to the political issues, to the ethical issues that we architects are facing every day. So I think that's really wonderful that this work is kind of sustaining. It is initiated and it's sustaining its role. So I would also like to thank Iman and Seed for their wonderful coordination, which made this book happen with their commitment and their collaboration. I'm looking forward to meet with all of the participants, all of the selected projects members. So how a nice, such a nice book and such a nice discussion platform this is. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you so much, Jason, for your lovely words. And I'll ask Paola to share a few words with us.
Thank you, Sid. I want to thank you this opportunity. I am from Chile, in the very corner of South America, and it was a great opportunity to see all the marvelous projects that we received, how they get inside the goals of the SDG goals and do good propositions in each of one of them. We have big goals in front. We have the climate change. Here in Chile, we have all the data scientific telling us how dangerous it's coming. We have all kinds of disasters, natural disasters and new disasters about the climate change. And we look the urgency that we have in the projects to go inside each one of these goals. So they are a key for the future, and they are a challenge, and they are urgent to reach. So each one of the projects that are in this guidebook and each project that couldn't be selected are a solution for the future. When we thought about how would be this new guide of the SDG, we thought in putting projects in 3 dimensions. In the past, what have we done? In the present, what are we doing? And in the future, where are we going through? And it was exciting to see all the answers that you made in this vision. How have we built a history in a good vision for the future about the SDGs? And we must grow because the future projects must consider all the SDGs as it can in the use what way they are determined to do. So we hope to keep this UIA SDG guidebook growing each year and with more ambition and with solutions, practical solutions for each part of our world to put inside in the projects that they are designing. I think that this is like we are throwing a big goal in front of each area where we must go through by the projects that has been selected in this guide. So congratulations to each one of the participants, and thank you for Iman and Sid. They have been a great group for all of us, guiding us. It was a very big task. There were many projects. So thank you very much, and for UIA doing this big task to get us all together and think about this future that we want to build. So about the SDG. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Paola. I always say when we invite people for the editorial board, at first moment they say, oh, it's wonderful, I want to be a... And when they receive our email with the list of projects they have to read, they suddenly disappear. But then I would like to take the opportunity to also thank the other members of the editorial board. I would like to thank Bruno Marques, Junmu, our colleague Milika Jovasik, and Yves Monod, who has also been working with us during this process, but unfortunately could be with us today. I want now to pass the word to I call her my partner in crime, Iman Gavad. Yeah, we are partners in crime. And we'll do a brief presentation talking about the process of the guidebooks, because this is not the first one. And we have guidebooks spread all around the world. And then we are going to finally give you a small piece of the book we are launching today. So please, I will share the screen. I hope it works. It never works, but let's try. Can you see it?
It's coming. Good day, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you all on board of this important event for us, the launch of our dear guidebook for the 2023 edition. Actually, this guidebook is very special for us because it reveals our obligation as architects towards the dissemination of knowledge to the other member section of the UIA about the importance of the UN 17 SDGs and how can we implement it, not only in our design, in our construction strategies, and also in our educational curriculum. Next, please. You may see that we have a lot of acknowledged local editions in many of the UIA region, but we rely on our first two volumes, which guide us throughout the third one, and we'll also be implementing the other SDGs within their local climate and circumstances. Next, please. We had a long timeline of our guidebook, which ended by the announcement of the UIA Copenhagen Congress results. We had a shared exhibition booth in the Copenhagen Congress with the other two commissions that we had projects intersected projects with, the UIA Education Commission and the Professional Practice Commission. In this booth, we announced the results. We shared some of the project's photos, and we went on disseminating the results and the idea itself throughout this year till March 2024. In several occasions, not only in Copenhagen Congress, you may see the photo where we were introducing the idea and also the samples of the projects in our session in Copenhagen Congress. But next, please. We continued throughout the phase after the Congress with several media coverage and advertising. For instance, we were talking about the same guidebook in journals, not only within the UIA region, but also in international events like the COP28 in Dubai, the UAE. We appeared in two publications, in two online journals, where we were introducing these projects and telling the others about our example. Of course, at the beginning of the last mandate, we were very proud to have the printed material in the Madrid General Assembly. And you can see on the upper right hand the actual photo where we had several languages, the translation of the two editions of the guidebook. And these translations were gone in less than an hour. Every member section was eager to get not only its translated version, but we were also seeing other editions within their local context with other member sections. For instance, in this General Assembly, we received the Japanese version and the Chinese one as well. Next, please. But particularly in COP27 and COP28, we had more chances to reveal the results and the experience itself. When we were invited as speakers in several sessions with the collaboration of our alliances,
from all over the international and regional organization. They were asking us about the experience and sharing this information within their media coverage and websites as well. Next, please. We continued, but towards more global arenas. For instance, in 2023, we were present by our dear member Daniele from the Commission in the 2023 World Circular Economy Forum and the Global ABC General Assembly, where we promoted these practices and not only the climate change, but within the other 17 SDGs. We were present even online in the La Biennale de Venezia 2023 in the collateral event, the Climate Wooden Camera. Not only the two actual co-director, but we were thrilled to have our advisor and the previous co-director of the commission, Nathalie Moussen. We were also sharing the experience, but in a more related SDG to the climate. And lastly, as our president has already explained, we were in the Global Forum for Building and Climate this month, like 2 weeks ago. And in our special session titled The Adaptation Strategies in Building, Design, of course, and the Construction, we had the chance of sharing some of our activities. And one of the most important activity for us was the guidebook. Thank you. Sid, back to you.
Thank you, Iman. So those are the numbers. This, first of all, this is the cover of our new guidebook. And that's why I said our editorial board had a lot of work, because we had 147 submissions. 141 were confirmed. So they went through 141 different projects, which we had initially selected a small group of projects, but then they were so thrilled about that first they have decided that we're not going to have projects on SDG 14, that it's related to the oceans. And they have decided to select 96 projects. And by the end of that, we have selected projects from 29 different sections of the UIA. As you could see in our 5 different regions, you have projects from 29 different countries. What made us definitely thrilled to receive all this. They are spread around the world, as you can see in this map. A lot of projects from different parts. Some colleagues were selected in more than one project. Our president was mentioned earlier today that she had the pleasure to meet with one of the architects in Paris recently, and that he was very happy to see that more than one project of him was selected for the guidebook. And just to give you a small piece of that, these are some of the pictures of the projects and that you're going to find in our guidebook. It's already available in the UIA web page. They, like Aysen and Paola told us, it's amazing to see not only the use of different technologies, but use of different materials, proving that we can learn from all these beautiful projects that were, some of them are already built, some are only still projects. And you can see that you have things in the middle of the forest, things in downtown areas of metropolis in Europe, and the use of different technologies and material, improving the knowledge that we expected to be sharing with all of you through this publication. We know that we do this thinking about the professionals, but we know, and Paola is from the university, and we know that a lot of architecture schools, they are using the guidebook within their students, so they can learn about new materials, new technologies, and how you can use the best way of using them in terms of saving the future for the next generations. It's of course, it's one of our goals. And this guidebook also proves that architecture and urban planning are important tools in the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals from the United Nations. We are thrilled to be part of it, and we expect that you enjoy this publication as much as we have done developing it. We are full of new ideas. It was a thrill experience, and we expect that you go through the page, go through the projects, and learn and enjoy a lot about the role of architecture in the Agenda 2030.
Actually, we received some questions on the chat about how to download or to get a copy from the guidebook.
Mhm.
Till now, we don't have a printed copy. We will discuss this with the UIA in a later stage, but nevertheless, you can have your own online version in the UIA website. You can
Yes.
also find the two initial versions of the initial guidebook in our the part of the UIA UN 17 SDG Commission in the UIA website.
And also the translated and the national versions of the guidebooks, the Japanese, the Chinese, the Brazilian. You can find all them in our webpage.
In the
So-
related resources section of the page.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that we would like to thank all of you for being here with us. Thanks again to our President Regina and our Secretary General Rui Leão and our beloved editorial board who took the challenge of doing this with us. If you need further information on the guidebook, you can send an email to the UIA team. They will send us your questions. Regina, Rui, do you want to say something to close the session?
No, I just wanted to congratulate all of you and say it's so lovely that you all look so happy. It looks like you won the school tournament.
Yes, congratulations to the team and also to the participants because they provided the content.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
thank you.
Thank you.
It is always a collective effort, but it is not always easy to discover all the interesting things that are going on. So we are lucky that the people responded.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for all who are part of this. Thank you for the Bureau who helped always us with everything related to this. Thank you for our members from the past mandate for the actual mandate, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for being here with us today.
We will certainly print it also. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.